Talking with Jim Zajicek. He's now the principal at Trinity School in Proudham, but has been in education for many, many years. And recently, this last spring, at the Iowa Boys High School basketball tournament, received the most prestigious award any administrator in high school can really earn in the state of Iowa from the Board of Control. And Jim, that is something that, after your years of service and everything else, has to be really a highlight of your career in education.
It is. I've always enjoyed working with kids. I've enjoyed working with coaches. They do such a great job of touching the lives of kids. So, and being a former athlete, so to speak, I always felt that it was great to have connections with the Iowa High School Athletic Association. I did some coaching. I officiated for 35 years. I made sure that our kids, whatever level that they were at, had good coaches, good facilities. So I always try to establish a good working relationship with the Iowa High School Athletic Association, kept in constant contact with them when I was a principal, as well as for a couple of years a junior high athletic director, and I think I formed some good friendships and I got to know some key people. Not that that was a help, but that was my feeling, to help these kids.
And one of the great things about this award, I know, the little town of Proudham now, Rudolph Feenham High School, that I think had like 465 graduates in all of its existence, now has had a person receive the 3 biggest awards they give out there at the state tournament. Bill Prohaska, of course, was a Hall of Famer, and Ron Novotny got the media award, and now Jim Zajicek and you and Ron are actually from the same class. I mean, that says a lot for the education you all got here in Proudham through the years, and says a lot about the community as well.
It is. This is a great community, Randy. What I liked about this community, and I still like this, the support that you get from the parents. And it's not only teachers that do a great job of teaching, but you have to have great parents. So when you see teachers and parents, you have good kids that are willing to work hard. And you're right. Ron and I were classmates. We had more fun. We had a class of, I think, less than 20 kids. But we've achieved some success, and I'm very proud of that.
Absolutely, and we could talk about Proudham here all the time, but I know a lot of this award came because of your service in Cresco, both at Notre Dame and also at Crestwood. You had a long and really a distinguished career at both those schools.
Again, I was so fortunate to be in a community that did anything for education. Right. At Crestwood, I was hired by a superintendent who I consider to be probably the best superintendent I ever worked for. He had a vision. He was a visionary. He wanted to make sure that we had great facilities, but he wasn't only interested in athletics. He was the man who was responsible for bringing in Northeast Iowa Community College. Okay. And he asked me to work with him so that we could set up the NICC Cresco Center. He became a member of the Board of Control. So I learned a lot of things from him about how the Board of Control operates, and got to know some key people, and was always more than happy to work with them. I had a couple great athletic directors. I had David Harold, who's now the superintendent at Waukon. I had Jim Oberman, who is not only, a great athletic director, but a very successful coach. We were able to get our facilities to the point where we hosted district track, we hosted district wrestling, we have hosted district baseball because we were one of the first schools in the area to have lights. So, whatever we could do to make our facilities good for our kids and the community, we worked hard at, and we had some success with that.
And you yourself, you've kind of gone full circle. You're back where you started in education, not as a teacher or an administrator, but as a student way back. The very building you're in now at Trinity was then Holy Trinity, but you were one of the first students in that building, right?
Well, when I came back for the interview last May, I walked through the rooms, and the only thing I noticed, Randy, was this. The rooms got a little smaller, but then it dawned on me, it's because I got bigger, right. Because that's where I started, second grade. And I'm excited about the fact that I'm back for a year. I enjoyed high school. It was a great, great career. But it got to the point where it was 24/7.
Right.
And it had nothing to do with kids. It had nothing to do with staff. It was just time for me to, start enjoying some of those things in life that, I hadn't been able to do. And this past year, I found out what some of those things were, and it's great. Although I still have very close ties, with Crestwood.
Right.
I keep in touch with the staff. I keep in touch with the kids. It's been a great ride, Randy.
Education has changed, hasn't it, since the 50s when you first came to school? I mean, and it's changing all the time, isn't it? It's almost hard to keep up with.
It's, for somebody my vintage, it's almost impossible to keep up. My word processor is still a pencil and a pen. Although I consider myself, to have some computer literacy, I have a long way to go. But I work at it. I still want to be literate as far as technology is concerned. So I do have a Droid phone. I can, send and text messages on the phone. I'm going to be taking, technology classes this summer. And I told my wife within the next couple of weeks I'm going to buy myself an iPad so I can become more technology literate. But no, all kidding aside, our young people are so tech savvy. And it's going to be a world where we have nothing but, technology. Right. And the sooner these young people can learn that, the better. I just hope that they don't forget about the people skills and also learn how to form friendships and relate well to other people, because those things are also still very, very important. And I think maybe that's one thing where, getting back to, your class with your brother, we had a lot of friendships because we played ball every minute that we could. We got to be the best of friends. All of our kids, still stay in touch. And, I just hope technology isn't taking away from that, because it's more interested to be in a computer than play ball and have fun.
That is definitely one of the great risks in our society today, is we have almost too much technology. But I'll give you a chance here to put in a plug for Trinity School, because I think that's probably one of the reasons why a school like Trinity, that is smaller classes and a little bit more probably higher touch than say some of the bigger schools.
Well, the thing that impressed me most about Trinity, Randy, the first year that I've been back, is the support that we get, not only from the parents, from the community. A classic example, when I came, it was brought to my attention that we need to put up some playground equipment. And I was trying to solicit some money. We had a fundraiser, and on one of those generous nights, we raised over $10,000 for equipment. But it's not only playground equipment, Randy. We have an annual fund drive. People give generously. We use this money, to update our technology, because that's the one thing I think parochial schools probably, fall back on a bit, because we don't get the funding from the state, is, monies for technology. But again, I've learned, let the parents and the community know this is what they need, and they will support. We have small classes, more one-on-one time, and that's all a help. It's been great. So I'm very, very glad for the support that we have.
Well, that's Jim Zajicek. Just recently, a couple of months ago as we speak, received the Iowa High School Athletic Association Administrator Award at, I was going to say Vets Auditorium. It's no longer that, up down in Des Moines. But a great award, and now, of course, principal at Trinity, formerly principal and involved at Crestwood and Cresco, Notre Dame.